Now, if you will remember, in yesterday's episode, okay, bet you were wondering if I was going to be able to find the hole on the other side there, right? Well, I was wondering too. Anyway, in yesterday's episode, we used our rotator here to spin these life rafts around, just to make it a little bit easier for taking the liquid mask out. And I want to do much the same sort of thing today. The only difference is I want to be able to have the life raft sort of on its edge, so that I can sort of, paint down at an angle like this, and then, rotate it and still be able to paint down. I think I'll be able to do a better job. Now, I haven't tried this. This is actually the first time. Okay, now we'll try and get it centered on the end of that shaft, which I'm sure you recognized as an extension from my sockets. And in case somebody wants to get technical, it was the 3/8 inch socket. I'm going to try and get it square, because when I put the macro lens on, I want it rotating always on the same axis. It's not too bad, I guess. But it doesn't have to stick on there very hard. It just has to be, enough that I'm not going to knock it off with the brush. So I probably got it stuck on there way harder than necessary. Anyway, you get the idea. Now, when we sprayed the outside of those life rafts, we used the 77 that had been thinned out to 50-50, or maybe even weaker. It might have been more like 60-40, I'm not sure. But I'm afraid that if I try to use the brush to try and paint with really, really watered down paint, it could start wicking its way up into the deck tan. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet here and open up a new jar. I like to use the old first, but in this case I think we're just going to have to open up a new jar after we shake it up. Well, here we go. Must be at an awkward angle and trembling just a little bit more than usual here. Now I just want to give you a fair warning here. This goes on for over 12 minutes, pretty much the way you see it. I don't say anything funny or witty or anything like that. I don't do the two-camera thing. It's just painting little tiny parts. So if you want to grab that little button on the bottom of your screen and scrub ahead, you won't hurt my feelings. On the other hand, maybe you like to watch little parts being painted. Well, that's okay too. I think I should be going maybe just a little bit closer to the bottom of the life raft. Yeah, that was better. When we're looking at it so incredibly close like this, oh, that's too deep, I think. Or maybe not. Anyway, when we're looking at it so very, very close like this, you can see every little flaw. Okay, I'm going to leave well enough alone here. I know it's not perfect. Maybe I could have gone a little bit closer right here in the corner. Okay. Now, try and get that off of there without scratching it on the sides. Maybe I should use a toothpick. Kind of a bent toothpick, but that doesn't matter. I won't poke this one on quite so hard. Oops. Don't want to go too deep because then it'll get stuck in those little grooves, and let's turn it slightly here. I'll just do this one more, and then I'm going to rinse out my brush because I think the paint is starting to dry in it there, and it's not as flexible as it was. Might try and readjust my light. It's at too much of an angle. Not bad. Okay, I'm going to clean up my brush. Hey, I just looked into my monitor. It looks like some sort of a three-eyed smiley face. Okay, I've readjusted here. At least we're covering up most of the deck tan that's on the sides of the insides of the ring. As I keep saying, it's not perfect, but I think it's going to be a lot better. Maybe I think I went too far up there. Oh yes, I did. Well, not too bad though. It depends on the angle. Do I put any more in there and try and round it off? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna just leave well enough alone here. It's better than it was, that's for sure. Now what I want to do is just check and make sure, is there anything that really badly jumps out at me? Like, in other words, should I go around with the deck tan and try and cover up some of the gray where it wicked into the, like right here? But there's nothing that just jumps right out at you and says, hey, you got gray paint on the where you shouldn't. So I think I'm just going to leave it. Like, I'm looking at it really close now with my 4 diopter glasses on, and I would say it's acceptable. Yeah, I'm just going to quit here on these now. Okay, we are backed up here now to step number 8. That's where they want us to put the shelter deck down onto the, what I have been informed is the forecastle deck. Who cares? Anyway, this part goes down onto this part. And we had concluded that we didn't want to glue it down because I wanted to be able to just handle this one small part. Now, what I'm thinking of is, okay, we put it down. Let's assume we put it down. But we're not going to, because we want to keep it loose. All right, here we go. Step 9. In step 9, they want us to glue these things onto the side of the superstructure here, of the bulkhead. And the thing is, you can't glue them on now because this has to be painted. But what got me thinking about it was, if you remember, I was talking about wanting to paint these pieces here that plug into the side of the somewhere here. See, where do they go exactly anyway? Okay, I do believe this one here, this big long one, it actually goes on the side of the hull somewhere. So okay. So it'd be the shorter ones then, I guess, that get mounted on here somewhere. But like I say, not until we get this sprayed. I'm just wondering, maybe the thing for me to do is spray the side with the not the 77. It was the can't find it here now. Anyway, it was the I think it was the number 22. Spray the side with the 22, and then I think I will hand paint the deck area. Now, a lot of this is going to be visible because when this piece goes on, like this, you can see a lot of this deck. So now, had I bought the wooden decking, undoubtedly there would have been a piece that would have gone on there. See, my problem is with the wooden decking. I think what really scared me off the wooden decking is when I was watching Scott putting the wooden decking on his hood, he had to, and I mentioned this before, he had to take nippers and nip off all the little parts. But I've since discovered that there is wooden decking available that has punch outs that goes around the stuff that's on the decking. It's not the Pontos version. It's somebody else's version, something like Edwards or something. I can't remember now. I'm sure I'm going to get comments on that telling me which is which. I am seriously considering ordering the wooden decking for the Rodney, but not the wooden decking that I'm going to have to remove a bunch of stuff. So if anybody has actually used the wooden decking on the Rodney, well, let me know which would work good in that regard. In other words, the easy one. Anyway, let's get back to this here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this now. Don't know if I should do this one at the same time. I have to think about it here. It only makes sense to do it all at the same time. And then hand paint everything else here. I know that the spray will do a better job, but if I hand paint it, it will almost look like it will give it a bit of a weathered look as well. That's my thinking right now. Okay, obviously all of this is going to have to be masked off. Yeah, I'll probably do it off camera because I'm going to want to spray the sides here. Now I suppose I could try and hand paint the sides, but I think that probably the detail will, like of the doors and portholes and so on, will be preserved better if I use the airbrush. So I'm going to just take out I'm guessing maybe 2 hours it's going to take me to mask this all off. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Yeah. No, I'm just sitting here behind the computer right now and I'm editing this all out. And I'm hearing myself sighing and groaning and complaining. At least it sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like I'm not having any fun. But I actually am. I am enjoying this. Now, I remember doing this all before. Now, there's something sharp here. Sharp, but not that sharp. Now, I want to be able to spray here and have it come right up against the, where's my knife here? Okay, would it be possible to trim this off? Okay, so when you're spraying, I'm finding if there's anything hanging over, like if the tape was to come over, the spray wouldn't really get right up to the edge there. So now there is another thought. Would this maybe be a good place to use the liquid mask? No, I don't know. I'm going to see how this goes first. Now, places like this little corner here, that has to be sealed. Otherwise, the dark gray is going to get on the deck tan. I'm not happy with this. Now let's think. What if I was to put the liquid mask all the way along the edge here? See, I still want to get the tape across the top here. No, I won't be using this one, but this is the idea. Maybe a piece like this should be the last thing I put on, because while I'm trying to get the other piece joined onto it, I could push it down and it'll... Okay. Thinking out loud again. Okay, another thought here. What if I was to have it upside down and then have the spray, have this held up like this, and then spray at an angle like this, so that any overspray would go through and wouldn't hit the deck. I wonder if that would work. Yeah, I wonder if that would actually work. Let's just sort of look along here. If I was to just spray like this, you know, have this thing held 2 or 3 inches above the bottom of the spray booth, so that the overspray would keep on going. It wouldn't curl around. And yet, on the other hand, maybe it would curl around, but I don't think so. Now I know that I could take this and drill a perfect hole in my drill press downstairs. However, that would mean that I'd have to go up and down the stairs. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to spray this today. I want to hear from 5 Airbrush Tony. You undoubtedly will know if the spray is going to go down and curl back up and get onto the well, I guess it would be right here that I'm worried about. I'm not too worried if the 22 gets onto this 77, because it's already pretty much the same color. But you know, will it curl? Will, if I spray like this, will it curl around? In other words, like an eddy. I don't think it will. I think that the spray itself will keep on going, but I'm not sure. So yeah, Tony, I'm sure you're watching this, and I would like to hear your expert opinion, and then we'll see what we do tomorrow. So I think that's probably it for today, folks. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow in the spray booth.